last week, I talked to you about how to RPM your life, how to speed things up. And I began with the simple question of, do you feel like in life that you are way behind? Do you feel like you look at your life and say, man, I thought I would be much further along by now? 80%, 90% of people do. They feel like, man, as I look at my life, I never thought I would be at this place, at this level in my life right now. And I know how you feel. I've been there, and I know what it feels like to lose everything from a materialistic point of view, to lose everything professionally, to everything just falling apart and collapsing in my life. It happened to me in 2002. That was 2002. Actually, that is still the worst year of my entire life. And it was a bad year, yet it was a great year, because many of the things that I'm teaching now is the things that I discovered that I was believing wrong then. See, I had been taught a lot of things that I needed to unlearn. I ask a lot of people, did you come here to learn something today? And everybody will raise their hand in a seminar or at a conference or at a church, whatever. Everybody says, yeah, I came to learn. Well, really, what we have to do in our life is we have to excavate a lot of wrong teachings and wrong things that we were taught by our parents when we were growing up, by our teachers where we went to school, and by the preachers where we went to church. And number four, by the culture that we live in. Those four things have molded our current belief systems. And our belief systems of yesterday have shaped the conditions of our life today. Whew, as Oprah Winfrey would say, that's a tweetable moment, right? Our belief systems of yesterday have gone into our today and created where we're at. And statistics right now are saying that 88, it's getting higher and higher. It's getting out of control. 88% of people are saying that they don't like their life, that they're miserable. Depression is at an all-time high. Suicide is at an all-time high. And why is this? Why is everything like this? I believe it's because whenever you're here and you should be here, I call it the gap. Whenever you should be further along in life, you should be doing more, you should have more, you should be helping more people. Whenever there's that gap in between where you are, where you should be, you'll always experience frustration. You'll never feel fulfilled in your life. And so it's many times the reason why we have the gap. Man, I should be further along. And because we know inside we really should be. The destiny inside of us is saying, wait a minute, you don't belong here. You belong way up here. And sadly, here's the case. When you know you're in the wrong place, when you really know, you want to get out of that place as fast as possible. I remember one time I was flying into Los Angeles, direct flight from Tampa into LA. And as I was flying, I remember it was the first time I've ever been to LA, my first experience. And I heard that in LA, it's like, you watch out, there's some really weird people in California. I'm like, oh, okay. You never know what could happen. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm flying into Los Angeles. We're about to land, and I realized, man, I have to go to the bathroom, like really bad. And while the plane's coming in, I'm just getting ready to get up, and then the plane starts shaking, and the pilot comes on and says, "Hey, everybody, buckle your seats, set in your seats, because we're going to go through some turbulence as we land. Please, nobody moving." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And so I'm sitting there, and I'm going, "Oh, I got to go to the restroom." And it's like we circled around and around. It's like forever. Finally, we land. I get off the plane as fast as I can. I am looking for a bathroom. I run as fast as I can to a sign that I see restroom, and I go into the restroom, and when I go in, I'm looking around, and I'm like, I'm looking for a urinal, right? And I'm looking, and I'm not seeing anything. I'm like, wow, this is the weirdest restroom I've ever seen. They did say that California has some weird things going on, and pretty soon one of the doors opened up, and out came this big, tall woman. I mean, it looked like I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if it was a woman or if it was a man. It was the strangest looking sight I ever seen. And I'm thinking, like, what is this? And and suddenly another door opened, and then another woman came out, and suddenly I realized that I was in the women's restroom. oh, OMG, right? And as soon as I realized I was in the wrong restroom, I said to myself, I've got to get out of here fast. The key word is fast. And that's what you need to realize in your life. If you are behind, you got to realize sometimes that you're in a wrong place. You're in a place that God never called you to be in. But until you wake up, until you realize, wow, this is not what God has for me, you will never take the massive action necessary to get out of where you are and to get to where you want to go. Now, the good news is that if you are behind, you can speed up. And last week I talked about RPMing your life and speeding things up, and how the first letter in the word RPM is R, and it means results. And you've got to really look at, what do you really want? What is the end result of where you want to go in life? And that you've got to decide, what do you want? And we talked about all the roadblocks that we use in our mind to justify not wanting, that we turn off our I want buttons. And so today I want to go into the next level, because it's not enough just to want. All right. There's billions of people today who, we could say many things. There's billions of people on the planet who want to be rich, right? Let's just use that. They want to be rich, but are they? No. There's billions of people on the planet who want to be skinny, right? I mean, they really want to look nice, man. They want the perfect body. I mean, there's billions of people who want the perfect body. But do they have a perfect body? No. There's many kind of people who they want a lot of things. The fact that you want something does not mean you're going to get it. And so today I want to talk about this thing. There's three levels of want. Now, I'm going to read this scripture because this is like really powerful. In Luke 9, I love the Bible. The Bible is so full of so many success principles. Don't you love it? I love the Word of God. I love it. In Luke 9, I'm going to get there here. And let's see, I want to go to 57 here. I want to read you this story. This story is really an interesting story about, and it kind of reveals the three levels of want before I share them with you, okay? It says this in verse 57. It says, "Now it happened as they journeyed on a road that someone said to him, 'Lord, I will follow you wherever you go.' And Jesus said to him, 'Foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head. Now, that's not saying that Jesus didn't have a house, because he did. What he was saying was, listen, I'm, oh, you want to follow me? Oh, you want to follow me? Okay. All right. Well, we're not staying at the Ritz-Carlton here. We're traveling by foot, and we're going to be moving around as an itinerary ministry. And there's going to be times we're not going to be able to stay at the Ritz-Carlton, right? So you want to follow me? Okay. Listen, you're going to have to, in order to follow me, boy, it's gonna take more than just an interest. It's gonna take more than just I want to, right? Oh, I want to follow you. It's gonna take more than that. See, that's why I say a lot of people want. Ooh, wow, I want to follow him. Okay. Then he starts laying out, there's a cost. There's a cost. Oh, yeah, okay. Birds of the air. Foxes have holes, birds of the air have nests. But there's going to be times where we're not going to just be able to stay at the best place. We're going to have to sleep out underneath the stars. Oh, well, oh, wow, really? And then it doesn't say that guy followed him, does it? No. Then another one came up to him, and Jesus said to him, follow me. But he said, Lord, let me first go bury my father. And Jesus said to him, let the dead bury the dead, and let them bury their own dead, but you go and preach the kingdom of God. So you got one guy, he doesn't want to go because the price is too heavy. He wants it to be easy. Next guy, I got this excuse. I got a funeral to go to, so I can't go. And then another one also said, Lord, I will follow you, but let me first go and bid my family farewell. Let me tell them goodbye in all my house. But Jesus said, no one having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God. Wow. You know what, Jesus? Jesus is not a snowflake type of guy. I mean, today in this world, we got a bunch of wimps. We've got a bunch of snowflakes. We're not producing hardcore warriors, do whatever it takes to make something happen. We got snowflakes. We got people who want the easy way for everything. They want everything, but they want it easy. They want it free, and they don't want to pay a price. And so I'm going to teach you here where the Snowflake Method lands you with nothing. And Jesus did not teach a Snowflake Method. He taught that if you're going to come with me, you need to be tough. You need to toughen up, boy. I mean, there's some people, they get offended over every little tiny little thing. It's like, really? You don't have what it takes. You're a powder puff, man. You don't have what it takes. If you're going to manifest your dream, I'm just going to tell you right now, you're going to have to toughen up. I'm telling you, you're just too wimpy. And Jesus is like, come on, stop being a little wimp and toughen up and be willing to do whatever it takes to manifest your dreams. Some of you haven't got what you want because you're just not tough. You're just not tough. One little thing comes against you. One little person says something that you don't like, and you're all upset. You're posting on Facebook. You're attacking people. Some of you're just worried about what others think. What was that one guy? The one guy, I got to go tell my family goodbye. What will my family think? You're worried about what others think about you. Let me tell you something. If you really want to manifest what you want in your life, You can't be concerned about what your family thinks. They already think they're already talking behind your back anyway. They're already, oh yeah, I know they act all nicey and smile in front of your face. But the truth is they're talking behind your back anyway. They're criticizing you back behind your back anyway. So let me tell you, if you want to be liked, you're never going to become wealthy. You're never going to become successful. You're never going to live a life that the majority of the people in this world want to live, called the abundant life. Hello, it's an abundant life. It should be a life other people look at and say, man, I want to live that kind of life. So it should be a superior life. It should be a life that models what other people want. It shouldn't be this kind of life that's just the status quo. Man, I hope you're getting something out of this. I'm doing my best to help you here. And so there's 3 levels, right? And I want to take it. I want to take you because first of all, when I began my journey and lost everything, I had to first come to the first level of want, which is just wanting. Because let me tell you, if you don't want anything, you're never going to get anything, right? You're going to get a bunch of stuff that you don't want in life. That's what I'm going to tell you. If you just say, I don't want anything, you're going to get a whole bunch of stuff that's just not going to be very good. But there's 3 levels of want, and I'm going to show you these. I'm going to show you these right here. The 3 levels of wanting. On the bottom of the triangle is I want. So I got to get you there. I got to get you to at least want. The second level of wanting is choose. And the third level of wanting is commitment. Ooh, the big dirty word, commitment. So there's these 3 levels. I want to talk to you about each level here today. All right? Want, choose, and commit. Now, first of all, at the first level, there's I want to be, and we're going to just use, let's say, we're going to use money, but we could use anything. We could use your health. We could use your profession. We could use whatever. But let's just say, I want to be rich. I want to be rich. All right, good. Now, that kind of statement, right, is, well, I want it, but it's more like it's a bottom level on the want list, because it can become like a passive thing. Well, I want something, and it just needs to fall down from heaven for me. It's kind of like, yeah, I want to be rich, and I'm going to make a confession, and and God's going to wave his wand, and all of a sudden it's just going to appear. It's these, I'm confessing, checks are in the mail, debt-free home, and blah 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 blah. And that is like, I want this, but it's just going to magically appear in my life. And here's what I want you to understand is that is the bottom level. That is the lowest level. And what happens if all it is, yeah, I want it. You see how passive that is? Yeah, I want it. And what you end up being is you being in a cycle of want. You want, but you never get to the place where you have. So you just live a life of always wanting something, but never manifesting. So many people want a lot of things, but they never get it. That's the bottom level. So we want to move beyond the want level, which wanting is a start. because you're never going to ask for anything until you first decide you want, right? So wanting is at least the beginning level. I mean, we got people who are below this who don't want, right? So we know that if they don't want anything, they definitely won't get it. The next level is what? Choose. Now, I want to be wealthy. Now watch this next one. I choose to be wealthy. That's the next higher level of wanting. Now, when you choose, the very word choose, it comes literally from the Latin word, which means to kill any other alternative. So when you choose, that means you're going to slay any other option. So I choose to be wealthy. That means poverty is not an option for me. That means middle class living is not an option for me. I'm choosing to be wealthy. Now, that's the next level. But there's a higher level even that. Now, you're moving in the right direction at that level, all right? Because you're starting to take responsibility. And that's at that step. The choosing is taking responsibility. And success in life begins when you choose to take 100% responsibility for where you are. All right? And that's choosing. All right? I choose to become wealthy. That's a great choice. And that's a beginning. Life changes happens at the speed of decisions. When you begin to choose, things start moving for you. But there's one more level, all right? And I want to talk to you about that. The level of commitment. This is the level Jesus challenged the disciples at. He said, listen, I am asking you for a total commitment. Not your excuses, not your buts, not your, not your maybes, not your, I'll try. Oh man, that I'll try. I'm gonna try to. I'm like, you're not going to. And people say, I'm gonna try to get a hold of you. You're not going to. You're gonna try. No, that's language of the weak. That's the language of the poor. Try. I'm going to try. No, I am. That now you're moving towards I am committed to become rich. I'm committed to become wealthy. I'm committed to lose 25 pounds. I'm moving beyond I just want to. We all want to lose 25 pounds. And we can choose. Okay, I'm going to choose. I'm going to do this. But there's a higher level that's going to get you the results. That's what I'm talking about. And the higher level is commitment. Now, what does that mean? It means to devote yourself unreservedly to holding back absolutely nothing. So you're 1,000%. You're not going to hold anything back. It's man, we are going to go full speed ahead to achieve what I want to do. It's what Jesus said. I'm going to grab onto the plow. It's no looking back. I think it's an old war term. They said, a real decision is we're going to take this island and we're going to burn the ships. That means I'm not going back. I'm totally committed to making this happen, whatever it takes. I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to become wealthy so I can provide for my family, so that I can live the abundant life, so that I'm not stuck anymore, struggling in middle class and in poverty. I am committed to this now. This, my friend, is not, it's not powder puff thinking. This is not this is not snowflaking. This is warrior mentality. This is, we're going to take it. That's the level of commitment that you need to be able to manifest want at a very deep level. People who manifest their dreams don't just want, they don't just choose, they commit. And the word commit is a word that means, it means to cut. So that's what Jesus was trying to bring these disciples to, was a place of cutting off. See, in order to commit, there has to be a cutting off. That's what he was saying, man. They were all saying, I want, the first guy, I want leisure, I want comfort. You got to cut that off. The next guy, he was like, oh man, I got a funeral to go to. What was he bringing? His excuse. I got an excuse why I can't start following you. You got to cut off all excuses. You got to cut them all off. The next level was the next guy. He wanted to go tell his family. He was concerned what his family would think. So you got to cut that off. and there's a lot of things. See, if you're going to manifest what you want in this world, there's some things that you got to cut from your life. A lot of people say, well, I want to be wealthy, but I just don't have time. And it's no, you just don't have commitment. You just don't have commitment. You got time, because, the same people who say they don't have time are the same people who will watch one football game after the next football game. I mean, you'll watch every single game in the championship playoffs. You not only will you watch all the football games, you'll watch all the basketball games. You'll go on Netflix and you know all the movies, all the shows on Netflix. You know all of those. You know all the popular video games. You know the different ones of those. And so what is it? See, you haven't been willing to cut some things out of your life. And so because you're not willing to commit, you're never going to really enter into that high level, the highest level of want, in which you need to manifest the dreams that you have for your life. And man, when I started to discover this was a game changer for me. Because listen, to manifest what you want, there's a price to be paid. I'm hearing people say things like, we're going to the next level. Great. I hear people say, God, this is a new season. I'm like, great, a new season, a new day, new levels. Those are great words. Those are great words. But and they feel good in the moment, don't they? They sure feel good. They're sure motivational. Until we say the new season that you want to enter into, there's a price tag. From going here to here, there's a price tag that has to be paid to go into the next level. At every new level, there's a door, and said admission must be paid. A commitment must be made before the door opens. And so a lot of these things stimulate us, but are you willing to pay the price? And here's what I've discovered in my life. Sometimes in order to get to where we got to go, we got to take the scissors and cut some relationships. Most of you are being stopped by wrong relationships that you have in your life. And you really have to look at this year, because a lot of the reason why you're where you are is because you have closer relationships with people who are at the same level as you. They're at the same level as you. And you can't help them, and they can't help you. And so you form a community of where all of you just, you just exist and accept where you're at. In order to get to where you're going to want to go, you're going to have to cut off those lower level relationships to get to the relationships that you need, that can help you take you to the next level in your life. There's always a price to pay. Most people don't want to pay the price. But the higher level of commitment demands it. I hope you've enjoyed this today. I hope you got a lot out of it today. Remember the words of Jesus. If you're not willing to turn, grab onto the plow and never look back, you're unfit. You're unfit. Basically, Jesus is saying, you're a snowflake, man. You're powder puff. You're a wimp. You don't have the guts to grab on and to go forward, to do whatever it takes to follow me. And let me tell you, if you're really following God, He's a big thinker. He's thinking big for your life, my friend. He's going to take you out to walk on the water. I heard somebody say, hey, let's live a fearless life. Fearless life. Fearless life are for people who aren't doing nothing. Tell you, when you follow God, He's going to lead you to do some big things that'll scare you. It'll cause your knees to talk to one another. But until we feel fear and we take action anyway, we don't grow. We don't expand. We actually stay in our little tiny comfort zone, thinking we're feeling safe and secure, when really it's the most dangerous place you can live. Safest place is outside of your comfort zone, but few want to leave.